And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gentlemen of Crypto. I'm one of your hosts, King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, and we're here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10-ish.
All right, now don't yell at us today, Bitcoin Zay.
Mic turned up a little loud, baby.
Hey, that thing cracked. That mic cracked.
Got this new mic, baby. I don't know what to do with myself.
We're gonna have to adjust them settings later, man. Top stories of the day. Not my cup of tea. Jamie Dimon is still not a Bitcoin fan. Ray Dalio admits he might be missing something about Bitcoin as it surges past 17,000. Grayscale, hey, I think I'm missing something, guys. Grayscale now holds 500,000 Bitcoin. Comptroller reveals path for crypto companies to become banks. Wake up and smell the coffee. Regulation is coming to DeFi, says expert. And last but not least, Mexico's second richest man invests 10% of his liquid portfolio in Bitcoin. But first and foremost, as always, Bitcoin Zay, can you please tell us what's going on with these prices?
Oh yeah, so the best part about this move so far, as everybody knows, Bitcoin moving up towards 18,000. Most everything else is in red, so all eyes are on Bitcoin as it's up 1% today at $17,971. Ethereum at $475, down 1% today. Ripple at 29 cents, down 3.5%. Cash does not moving. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, you know you're gonna come back. All right, don't summon them right now.
Yep. Chainlink at $13.22 is actually up 3.5%. Litecoin at $73.69 is down 0.17%. And last but not least, EOS at $2.60 is down 3.9%. So one of the things you have is a couple in green, Ethereum Classic, Doge, but mostly everything is focused on Bitcoin. And if you saw last night, it actually had a flash sale where it flashed down to, I think, about 17.2 in a matter of like 30 minutes. And then it was bought all the way up in a matter of 30 minutes, right back up and then heading towards 18,000. So we're definitely in a bull market. It just depends on how high we can go and what size pullbacks we have. Because speaking with the guy, Scott Milker, on a show, he was saying last bull run, we had 2 or 3 30% pullbacks on the way up. So don't get too hype into the FOMO, but yes, this is definitely a bull market.
And it's looking real good. One of the things we always talk about is once it surpasses that $12,000, $13,000 threshold, is that the percentage swings go down, which is why you see these big, either big dips or, of course, just huge gains. And that's those small percentage swings. So kind of going to what you said, we saw Bitcoin yesterday drop from about 18,500 early today, really 18,500 or whatever, down to like 17.2, whatever. A lot of websites had it as a 6% drop. So that quick, which we see almost every day in Bitcoin, going up or down 6%, is not the same as it being 6% at 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, right? When you get that small hit at 6%, at 17 to 18,000, you're literally going $1,000 almost, right? It's crazy. So to see that type of swing and to see a small percentage going that surrounds it, and as you said, you know, in the last one, we saw 30% dips, 20% dips or gains or whatever. This 6%. So what is going to happen when we do see that next 20%, whether it's a gain or a dip? I mean, that's when we're going to see Bitcoin being what Bitcoin is. So as you said, all is still good, though. We're in middle of November at 18,000. Have never been this high at this time before. So as you always say, if you were to dollar cost average and keep buying Bitcoin, even still, you would not be down. And in fact, another $2,000, you would be even if you came in at that $20,000 mark. Exactly even. So something to think about.
Shout out to all the top buyers from 2017. The day's your day.
About to have a whole new crew come in for you.
Whole new crew for you to talk to.
Tiffany from New York. Hello. Tiffany from New York be number one. Look, you got those notifications set. I love it. Lucky Lloyd, salute to the family. Tessa Hall, hello. CBTV, Crypto Blood in the house. Lucky Lloyd said, I'm charged up thinking about this bull run. I'm not gonna lie to you, Lucky Lloyd. I started off this Zoom call, Bitcoin Zay, saying I'm sick right now. Look, I feel like I don't have enough in there. I am still sick. I need a big retracement. I am not charged up just yet. Tessa Hall said these dinosaurs better evolve or get extinct. You're right. We got 2 today. Too rich to miss. What's up? Crypto Culture. Hello. Allison Thompson, Nate Moss. Yeah, the gang is out here. Crypto Culture, Crypto Blood, everybody in here. Hey fellas, what is the best and most secure way to move off Coinbase? Bitcoin Zay actually did a video on that. So on our channel, just type in how to get off Coinbase, and that video should pop up. He did that about almost 2 years ago.
2 years ago. How did I know? How did I know Coinbase is going to pull a stunt like this?
I wonder if they froze again today, right?
Yeah, they did 2 days ago. I mean,
did they really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was just like, let me guess, Coinbase shut down on Twitter, and it actually did have shut down the day before. Like, it's so predictable. I'm like, I don't even have to hear about it. It's coming. They don't want. You can't really make any profit on that.
Hey, what Roger Ver said. Hey, market manipulation is illegal here. Like,
yeah, exactly. Nobody told me the rules. Yeah, so
right.
Yeah, it's just more the same. But yeah, Coinbase has been doing this for years. If you're new.
Let's see. And Tony Nolly, what's going on? Let's see. There we go. A couple more people. Yeah, Tiffany from New York said, "Me too. We need a correction." Right? Hey, stop the madness right now. We don't need this price to go up right now. Okay. 2 dinos of the day. You know what? I don't have the sound pulled up. I might pull it up in a second. But of course, they are the people we always have. Of course, there's an in-house dino, our OG, triple OG of OGs, the dinos. Jamie, the dinosaur diamond. I can't wait till we're in the same room together. If he knows it, he's gonna look. I'm like, yeah, bro, like get with the program. He's like, I am with the program. I'm just rich, son.
This is how you do it when you got this much money.
Like, I know. He's like, I know, but whatever. But not my cup of tea. Jamie Dimon is still not a Bitcoin fan. Bitcoin Zay, what's going on with the dino here?
Oh man, well, it seems as though JP Morgan has, or Jamie Dimon has basically backed up what he said from before. He said before that he's not a fan of Bitcoin. He actually helped drive down the price last bull run. Remember, this is right on time because remember in 2017, right when it first popped up to 6,000, all of a sudden it was pushed down to 3,000.
Right on time.
Right,
he's doing that the same
exactly right after it hit 6,000, it went back down 3,000.
Warren's coming in too. Watch this.
Exactly. If you remember August 2017, this is exactly when Jamie Dimon spoke. The price went down $3,000. It recovered and it hit all-time highs 6 months later. I think this is what's going to happen this time. If something happens with the price, it drops $3,000. And it was because Jamie Dimon spoke out or something. Odd timing, but yeah, if that happens again, we can see the game. But at an event this morning, he basically said it's not my cup of tea. The event was the New York Times Deal Book Summit, and it was hosted by Andrew Ross Sorkin. Some of the guests included Elizabeth Warren, LeBron James, and Ruth Porat. So LeBron got to sit there and listen to him say he's not a fan, and this is why it's not quote unquote mainstream. The people that make it mainstream, they hang out with people like Jamie Dimon. And if they say they're not a fan of it, they're not going to speak out to him because he's a banker.
Nobody's going to speak out against the big boss.
They think he knows better. They're like, oh, he's a banker.
Nobody's going to speak out against the real president of the United States.
No, you are a dinosaur, my man. And the only reason I feel like he may not be a dinosaur is because he keeps speaking about it. So he has to have some interest in it, or in my opinion, actually own some. Because like I said, he talks about Bitcoin like an ex-girlfriend. He keeps saying I don't care about it, but you keep bringing it up, so you must miss it. You must really actually love it. So shout out to Jamie Dimon for being an all-time leading dino of the day, man.
You talking about somebody who just don't let go. Hey, let's go ahead and give him that loud roar. I did find one. One more time. Just screaming, just a screaming. Warren Buffett is next. But before he comes out, Ray Dalio decided to pop his head back into the news again. What's crazy about all of these people is that all they're doing is prepping the narrative to be like, well, I never really said all that now or whatever, you know what I mean? And even worse, if and when Bitcoin does dip, because regardless if it dips to 10K, 12K, or what I'm hoping to dip to a smooth 3,500 for a few days, whatever it dips to, which is really crazy, is that all these people right now in the news are quiet as church mice, right? They're not saying a word. You talking about a front runner. These are the front runners of front runners. This is why I always discredit Warren Buffett and his billions of dollars. The dude was like 14 years old when slaves were still around. His dad was giving him a few $100 invested in Pepsi. Like, who is not going to become a billionaire if that is your method? If you started early when no one else could and your parent gave you money. So I say that to say that all these guys are front runners. Watch what happens when Bitcoin dips. They will all be back in the news like, I told you so. I told you gold. I told you fiat. I told you Bitcoin was fraud, right? And then literally in 2 days after it dips and it goes back up to 18, 19K, we'll have a couple of comments like this where it is just like, maybe I was wrong or I'm still going along with this. But no one's coming out. Like, this is a time for them to keep doing what they've been doing. Oh, Bitcoin is fake. That's what. It doesn't make sense. Why aren't they doing it at $18,000? It's crazy. But Ray Dalio is one person who is coming out admitting he might be missing something about Bitcoin as it surges past 17K. Quote, if I'm wrong about these things, I would love to be corrected. First of all, before I read further, I'm going to correct you right now, Ray Dalio, because in a span of 3.5 years, we have seen Bitcoin go from $1,000 to $18,000 twice. Not once, but twice now. The first time we literally saw it go from 1,000 to 19,600. The second time we saw it go from about 3,000 now to 18,400, 500. So they haven't just been wrong one time, people. They've been wrong twice, big time, right? So I do want to start off this by saying you are corrected, Ray Dalio. But it looks like in a Twitter thread posted on Tuesday, Dalio stated he believed Bitcoin was not an effective medium of exchange nor a store value due to its volatility. What year is this?
Yeah.
Is this 2020 again? I mean, it's about to be 2021. They're still bringing up the same arguments. He also asserted that governments could outlaw crypto assets if they became a threat to fiat currencies. However, he admitted he might be missing something and invited others to chime in with their explanations. Again, this is the softball narrative of, oh, okay, now I understand. Now I'm on your side. Hell no. You are talking about people who could have made their life savings twice over again. You're talking about people who could have retired twice over again. You're talking about so many opportunities and possibilities that people had under your fund that you chose to ignore, all because, I don't know, you disagree with technology? Like, I don't know, you arguing, are you yelling at the clouds? It's software. How did you be wrong twice about it? And then now on the third time, come out and say, all right, guys, maybe I need to relook at some things. Like, this is crazy that he can even come out in public and say this and not be crucified. What are your thoughts on this?
Hey, man, Ray Dalio, much like other people, they've been right so much that when they're wrong, to them, it just doesn't register. And I think that's something. I think that's something that we have to explore a lot of times in our industry. Older thinking, not necessarily your age, but older thinking, saying that, hey, this has worked for me for decades. Whatever's the new stuff, I've seen new stuff and it's going away. But the one time they're wrong, which is now, about Bitcoin, they're missing the opportunity of a lifetime. That's the difference. Maybe they didn't get in on, maybe some other stuff, but Bitcoin literally could be opportunity of a lifetime, and their clients could be missing opportunity of a lifetime. Imagine if Bitcoin goes to 50K next year or 100K, and they have $1 million clients who didn't have any Bitcoin. Their career.
I'm actually glad that their
career is at stake at that point. It's like, okay, well, you didn't see this coming 9 years ago, 10 years ago. So yes, I think they're trying to button up their terrible predictions by basically saying, I could be wrong. Somebody could prove it to me. Hey, if you don't know by now, I don't have time to explain it to you. But player, in the great words of Satoshi, and he said that 10 years ago. So even today, I really don't have the time.
He really did say that. He did say that. If you don't understand, I have time to explain it to you. But again, the crazy thing to me is that it just hasn't happened. Technically, it's happened 3 times. If you talk about the run up to, was it $200 or $300, and I missed that one, but that was back in 2014 before the whole Mt. Gox thing happened. Yeah. Was it up to 400? Was that the run up?
It went down from 1,000 in 2014, then it went up a little bit.
But before that, then was it up to 1,000? Whatever the initial run up from 13 cents to wherever it hit, when it hit to 400, 200, 1,000.
1,000.
It was 1,000. So that initial run is 1,000. It retraces to 400. 400 goes back to 1,000. From 2016 to 2017, it's technically 400 to 1,000. I mean, you double your money in less than a year, but whatever. We won't even count that. Let's just say 1 out of those 2 times. Then it goes from 1,000 again to 19,600. So that's your main number 2, even though it could be 3 technically. And then this year, right now, 3,000 to 18,500. That is 3 different occasions in literally the last 6 years. And full time, all you do is investments. How do you miss this?
It seems like a no-brainer. Somebody here was mentioning the let's see, who was it here? The CME gap. Let's see, Tiff from NYC mentioning the CME gap at 9,600. Hey, we could go to 50K, 60K first, and then have another 3-year bear market, and then the floor is 9,600. Because our floor this time was what, 3,000?
That is a good point. No, that's a good point. We actually need to say that again, because people need to get that into their brain.
People need to understand that CME gap, even though gaps have to be filled, the time period, the time preference is different. We could have a full bull market, everything go, and then 3 years from now we have a bear market where it goes back down to 9,600. And think about it, that wouldn't really be out of the question.
That'd be good.
10,000 being the floor,
and then drop to 10 for 2 or 3 years, that wouldn't be terrible.
Exactly, with 10,000 somewhere around there being the floor, that makes sense. So I wouldn't get too hype about a price, because right now we have a big move in price without retail FOMO. So you got to understand, like, I don't think this bull run stopping for a while, but yeah, gaps have to be filled, and it could be soon, but I doubt it. And I think for anybody who's looking at like Ray Dalio or some of the big names, that's when they're going to be into it. 2024, when it drops back down.
Go to 10. They're like, all right, buy it all.
Good time to buy it. Yeah, exactly.
It drops to 10 again, buy it all. We ain't leaving
it all. Exactly. It's going to be impossible for regular people to buy it.
So, and what's also crazy about that, again, you made a really good point. And I know other people have wrote about this and spoken about it. We talked about it once. But let's not forget what's aggressively propelling this thing too. We're all up in arms, like, could it be the DeFi market, which of course it has some things to do with that. Could it be the election? Of course, that's some. But by and large, people, pandemic. Again, we keep talking about people don't want to use cash. I've literally been turned away from using cash now at CVS's, at like regular mainstream restaurants, at some gas stations. So it's just like people are not using cash. So that alone, I think, is propelling it. So if we stay in the pandemic the next 2 years, then we could see Bitcoin, I think, go beyond 50K if it stays, because people are going to say, hey, this is the way of life, digital money, right? Have to start looking at options. But if this pandemic does subside next year, we do get this. I heard it on the news or the radio, one of these little, was this NPR, C-SPAN, something, when they were saying that vaccine could be early as ready as next year. Look, but even a person made a point. They was like, but even if the vaccine is ready, half the country are anti-vaxxers, won't take it. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm an anti-vaxxer, but I am not taking the COVID vaccine from the United States government in 2021. Like, you smoking on that really good. That's happening. Like, not happening. So my point is, even if the vaccine comes out next year, like, this pandemic is still going to be going on. Digital currency is still going to be the thing. Now, getting back to Ray Dalio, something I do agree with him on, we talked about this, is the whole thing that governments could outlaw crypto assets. All right, here's a narrative, people. Again, you know, I got to put on my PR hat. You got to learn to read in between the lines. If you have a billionaire putting out in his messaging that governments could outlaw crypto assets, you should already know where he's putting his resources to, right? Him, Warren Buffett, Jamie the Dino Diamond, and a lot of them. If crypto does keep going and it does get to 35, 40K, you better believe they are going to be on Capitol Hill like, hey, you better throw something out, pull something out the hat, but you better make this shit illegal somehow, some way. Like, I don't care if it's people aren't allowed to hold $10,000 worth of Bitcoin at one time, or as they do in the $250 travel transparency for any with dollar amount to over 250, whatever it is, they're going to come to regulations. And this is them basically nodding to the government right now, like, hey, we're expecting you to outlaw this or do something as it continues to grow. So that's something I will pay attention to. Not saying it will work in the long term, but in the short term, I think it will scare people. And I think the United States will do something along those lines, because you remember, our whole national security lies within our dollar. So the minute the dollar gets weak, everyone in government, all they think is, hey, we need to ban and kill people. All right, we cannot have our dollar getting weak.
Hey, Ray Dalio and all of his they sound like Red on Friday. Debo, he gonna come and he gonna come over and take your money. Like, man, ain't nobody worried about governments, man. Right. Like, because it's gonna be more to it than that. They got to get their own stuff together.
And Ray Dalio was saying, I can't imagine central banks, big institutional investors, businesses, or multinational companies using Bitcoin. If I'm wrong about these things, I'd like to be corrected. And I love how someone called him out. His opinion on Bitcoin at the moment, I won't even say at the moment, but this person said at the moment, clearly reflects a lack of deep insight in the matter. That's why they were basically saying Ray doesn't practice what they preach, which is why I'm also saying, why do you even listen to these people? Because they're already billionaires. It's so crazy. We have this culture of, if you have money, we're going to listen to you and take it as God word. So it's crazy we have that culture, but keep on listening and watch that price go past 30K. And Dalio keeps saying, well, maybe this is the time to buy. So CNBC indicator. A good news story. Grayscale now holds 500,000 Bitcoin. That is right. Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust now holds more than 500,000 Bitcoin, surpassing $8.3 billion in value. To me, this is a bullish sentiment, and it's definitely showing that I guess they have all these organizations on board.
Oh, yeah. And I think the comptroller, I mean, at this point, whenever you discuss any type of government agency, if they if they say anything about crypto, they're already working on it. And at this point, like I said, November 17th interview with Forbes, Brooks stated there are currently 3 methods for payment companies to become a federally chartered bank. I wonder if they have anything to do with Silvergate, but we'll get into that more. The first option is for a non-depository national bank charter. The other 2 are to buy a depository institution or to apply for a national trust bank charter. When people say Bitcoin is confusing, think about banking. Banking is confusing as hell. Listen to this. But Brooks said the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, or OCC, was on the cusp of allowing trust companies to become banks. So they say they're getting a number of applications. Again, we know this process. It'll be their homeboys that they play golf with. They'll get the licensing, and they'll get to make the money off of quote unquote crypto banks, because some people still will not want control of their money because they haven't grown up doing it. They don't understand being self-sufficient. So Coinbase custody, all of these companies, they are definitely still viable in this sort of environment.
Yeah, and what's crazy again, when you're talking about getting these bank charters and stuff, it's unfortunate because there's so many companies that try to establish themselves as trusts, as investments, or whatever, and it was like, well, technically it's illegal to do that if you don't have these people on board, you don't have these things filled out. Basically, it's illegal to do if you got $50,000 to put up front and everybody in your clique not rich, you can't do it, right? But now they're saying these same people who we allowed to do that, oh, now you can actually open up a bank. So it just goes on the whole path of these regulators. Like you said, they're giving the homie hookup out. Nothing to see here. But what is important is that we will see crypto companies, maybe even something like Grayscale. You're talking about 500,000 in Bitcoin, 500,000 Bitcoin. We could see them become a bank possibly, right? We don't know. But what we do know is that if you have a lot of crypto right now, if you have a lot of Bitcoin under your purview, then there is a strong chance you could also become a bank in the United States.
Yeah, basically, I mean, like it says here, the dude, Brooks, he used to work for Coinbase. He was the former chief legal officer. He's been nominated to serve as full-time comptroller. Literally.
I wonder what company is going to get a nod.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder which company is going to get it. I mean, Coinbase.
Gemini is the first one.
Yeah, exactly. Coinbase and Gemini, definitely. And I mean, they set themselves up. See, this is the thing. I don't hate Coinbase because
that's what, from a business perspective, I'm always like, yo, I don't hate these people.
They're not a crypto company. And,
right.
And if you get Bitcoin and Black America Second Edition, I write about them very briefly. They are definitely a bank in crypto clothing. So yeah.
Oh, you want to smoke? Okay. Yeah, let me know so I know to get ready for war, man. What's up?
But love a guy, get off of Coinbase unless you want to use banks. If you want to use banks, ooh, you got it.
Look, Brian gonna sign us in no time. We're gonna be like, look, man, Coinbase has its problems, but it's still work in progress. They gonna be like, man? They out here getting referral codes. They got referral links to go to Coinbase. Like, hey man, every referral, Brian giving us 10K, bro. Just sign up. All right, we'll pay you back. All right, last couple of quick stories. Wake up and smell the coffee. Don't necessarily need to get into the weeds of the story, but I thought this was an important headline. Regulation is coming to DeFi, says expert. And something like this headline, what I liked about it, I think this could go into your prediction of possibly we seeing a 50K Bitcoin and then in 3 years at $10,000. This is the stuff that's going to make it happen, because this is what we saw in January of 2018 when Bitcoin was still pretty much sitting pretty at 19,000 some change. All of a sudden, them regulators came out the woodwork. They came out like death. If they touch you, that's it. That company was gone. Okay. So I make that point because after we saw that in 2018, that was the start of the 2-year bear market, 2.5 year bear market, which we saw. And I think that could be the same thing we see in the DeFi market. Everybody keeps saying this is a big reason why the price of Bitcoin has been increasing. DeFi, the funding has been going crazy. Everybody wants to be a part of it. It's a new unicorn and companies that all the tech companies want to be a part of. Okay, all that's good and gravy, but that was the same thing that happened with the ICOs. Nothing was wrong with ICOs. The process worked. The process was getting better. Self-regulation was getting better. We saw companies, we even touted the one company that we did a live stream ICO on our Instagram. Who was it? Was it the security guy? He's the contraindicator still.
Oh yeah.
Benny Lingram.
Yeah.
What was his project? Civic Key. When Civic Key had theirs, Benny did the whole thing for his ICO. Was you were chosen at random. Your place in line was chosen at random. You were only allowed to buy a certain amount. bada bing, bada boom. That was like one of the first people who did it like that. And everyone was like, okay, this is a fair way to do ICOs. We were just starting to self-regulate ICOs in 2018 when the government came and said, no, we're going to regulate it for you. So I think the same thing is going to happen with DeFi. Everything's good and gravy. All the money's flowing in. It's making the market go crazy. And it's about the same times we saw the ICO craze happen, right? Toward the end of the year. As I always say, let's wait until after Martin Luther King Day in January, and let's see if regulators don't come back next year and say, oh, DeFi, sound like a security to me or something like that, right? Like it sounds like X, Y, and Z.
Overnight.
Is there a CEO in charge? This network doesn't work. And if that starts happening, you could literally see the price of Bitcoin fall by the thousands every day for like a month straight until we hit another low. I don't know. Those are my thoughts when it comes to the possibility of the DeFi market being regulated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I just don't think DeFi is going to affect Bitcoin that much. They just got to go through their trials. And honestly, if it's real DeFi, nobody will be able to shut it down. So if they can, it's not DeFi, it is CeFi. And it is just using the DeFi name to garner a bigger market cap. So don't think it'll affect Bitcoin per se, but I think some of the smaller DeFi coins are definitely out of here. Sushi Swap and all that bullshit.
Oh man, you love getting communities to come after us, don't you? You love getting the big.
Hey, how else do you sell albums? Start beef, baby. That's how you do it.
You not just say Sushi Swap. They've done nothing but good work over there, I thought.
Oh man.
And speaking of which, I think actually I got to keep up with it because I can never tell when it's spam or it's real. But I think somebody from hit us up to do like an interview, so I got to check it out. We got actually like 2 or 3 people was asking, but I don't know some of the companies yet, so I'm just like I don't know, but we'll see. Let's see if some more shout outs. See some more people coming in right now. A couple of quick comments. Tessa was laughing when I told it's called Jamie the Diamond the Triple OG. Y'all know who he is. Mark Cooper saying Bitcoin 40K by February. All right. Let's see.
We got the moon suits out. People already 100K by tomorrow. It's like, all right, come on.
Expat Crypto said Google Trends turn Bitcoin has no large activity. When retail gets in, it will go much higher, but happy to see the institutions getting in big time. That's right. Mr. G, the recycling guy, what's going on? Morpheus Mine, hello. Say I had to force myself to go to sleep last night and not keep looking at my crypto accounts. There we go. Champ Chamberlain is talking to Tiffany from New York. Say I wish it would drop and close that CME gap so I can increase my position even more. I'll dump everything I have into it, but sadly, I don't know if it's ever going to go back to those prices. Champ, that was a conversation I had with Bitcoins this morning. I was like, I need something to happen, but it probably won't happen. What's going on? Call Will Jackson. These men are so disingenuous. And what's crazy is like these men are disingenuous with billions of dollars and millions of people that listen to every word they say. Hey, America, you gotta love it. I just got done watching Idiocracy the other day, man. Look, that whole thing about childbirth and stuff, that's how we got to where we're at. Let's see.
Here now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. We're here now. It's too late. Crypto Culture says software. Mr. G said borderline criminal negligence. Exactly. Who else do we have up here? Got some more comments. We'll get back to it. All right, last story, but definitely not least. Mexico's second richest man invests 10% of his liquid portfolio into Bitcoin. Bitcoin's am I reading this right? What is going on in Mexico?
Oh, yeah. Mi amigo Ricardo Salinas Pliego, the second wealthiest man in Mexico, has revealed that 10% of his liquid portfolio is invested in Bitcoin. He shared a video captured in a quote-unquote Latin country depicting banks throwing out garbage bags filled with paper money in a dumpster. He asserted that paper money is worth nothing. That's why it's always good to diversify your investment portfolio. This is great. The reason we love sharing stories like this is because I'm sure most people watching and ourselves, we still have people that are doubters of Bitcoin, doubters of crypto in general or blockchain. At this point, it's laughable because if you're the second wealthiest man in the country, 166th wealthiest person in the world, I would think that 10% of your portfolio in Bitcoin is pretty standard for a regular person. So at this point, it's really no arguments. In my opinion, Bitcoin has won when people like this are saying paper dollars are worthless. Forget the Bitcoin aspect. When they say dollar is worthless, when Michael Saylor is saying the dollar is an ice cube that's melting, when they say things like that, they're not only evoking, buy Bitcoin. They're basically telling you this economy is done. We got insight into the fact that we may have the worst economy of all time sometime around next year. So shout out to him. Shout out to Ricardo Diego, 10% of his. So if you want to give a recommendation, 10% of your portfolio from the second richest man in Mexico. Not bad. Fidelity actually said 5%. So this is great to see. And I think more rich people, as the price goes up, will poke their heads out and reveal that they had Bitcoin all along. So this is probably one of many.
Now, you just hit on something, which is my last kind of thing. Again, I think about regulators outlawing, banning, doing all that. But I also think about the regular money market. You know, again, we're in a pandemic, stimulus checks, unemployment, all that good stuff, along with institutions as well. But let's not forget that some of this money is funny money, which is a good thing in the short time. Just looking at businesses. All right, a lot of businesses and institutions, of course, have invested in Bitcoin, but a lot of businesses have been getting that PPP loan. And I just saw that new Young Jeezy make a joke about it when they was walking in talking about we want $100 million loan. And then they went to the next bank and was like, we want $100 million loan. Now, that was supposed to be a joke for a music video, but let's not, you know, I remember Ruth Chris got a $20 million loan, right?
Yeah.
They didn't need it. I don't know their business. Somebody put in perspective to me. They was like, how much is their lease and their overhead when they're not working? Who knows, right? But my point is there were businesses and organizations and companies that came out of this thing with $30 million loans, $50 million loans, $100 million loans. Now, if you're a business or a company, let's say you are a restaurant and you're coming out with a $20 or $30 million loan and you already realize this pandemic isn't going anywhere. Why don't we just keep our restaurants shut down and I put 20 million into Bitcoin and crypto and keep the other 10 million just in case it's rainy day having, we want to reopen the restaurant and we're good money. I'm saying we don't know if that happened or not, but with all this going on right now, the United States market is still good. It's still pumping. We still haven't had a retracement in the regular United States market yet. It was supposed to happen way back in 2016. The can keeps getting kicked. We haven't audited the Fed. None of these things that happen. So my point is, if the regular market does tank and crash, which we still haven't seen with Bitcoin, what will happen? Will Bitcoin still stay propped up at these prices, or will people finally start taking money back saying, hey, we need this to survive? I don't know.
Yeah, well, it seems as though we're headed that direction because it's not going. We're not going backwards.
Can't keep printing money forever.
Yeah, can't keep printing money. So even if we do, you know, inflation is real, and we already know it. So just remember, every fiat currency ever created has died. So don't think we're different. Just what time scale are you looking at?
All right, last few shout outs. Listen, the comment section today are hilarious. That's how we know the Bitcoin price is pumped, when this comment section is lit. All right, I see like 40 people. We need to have at least 40 likes at the end of this. Make sure you smash that like and share this to your Facebook or something. You know, the show is turned to today. Let your friends see it. Don't be stingy. Other than that, some last quick shout outs. Ryan Cooper said pure nepotism and cronyism, talking about some of these government regulators and these bankers like Donald Diamond and Ray Dalio. Mr. G, the recycling guy, said grayscale equals money monster. Anthony Mouse said USDC is the new digital dollar. Okay. Ross Shu, what's going on? Mark Cooper, hello. Kadeem Midget says sushi gang about to come in hot. I'm trying to tell him, Kadeem, look, I don't know why he's starting issues with people. But Ryan Cooper said sushi swap equals shite coin. So that's not good. Donut coin ain't going to the moon no more. Not the donut coin, but I heard the Long Island iced tea coin might be making some moves again. Other than that, that's all I have for today. What you got, Bitcoin, Zay?
Tune in, sign up now on the BitGive website for the DeFi conference. I'll be speaking there at 6 p.m. Eastern. DeFi as far as decentralized philanthropy, speaking about crypto for kids, how to have a social impact with blockchain, things of that nature. So for those of you making big profits with crypto, think about philanthropy. I know I am, and I'll be speaking at 6. So tune into that.
Man, forget them kids. No. There you go. You want to start a fire a little bit. No.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, that's the show. Stroke the fire. Other than that, that's the show for today. As always, thanks for watching, people. We will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news. We are still playing with these time and dates as Bitcoin Zay. Of course, everybody wants them in every direction. I have business going on in LA. So tomorrow we are planning to possibly go on, I think 10 a.m. Eastern. That's the game plan. We're going to try it out that early time, see how it goes. But again, just make sure you have the notifications set. You get the bell, you get the email, and you can always replay us and watch us back. And we'll be uploading all these to the, what is it called? The podcast as well. But right now, we just like to release them on YouTube first. Make sure you all can check them out here. Other than that, that's the show for today. Have a great one. We'll see you all tomorrow. Cheers.